Education is the key to a bright future. Empowermefirst.college.
Hello, today we will be talking about a new concept in the number theory which talks about finding the least common multiple and the greatest common factor. And we will try to make some real life applications to understand why they are used. First of all, I will go over how to find these least common multiple and the greatest common factor, and then I will let you understand them much better in real life situations. Let's go. So, how to find the least common multiple? First of all, what is the least common multiple? We have learned the word multiples before. That means if I'm talking about the multiples of the number 8, for example, what I do is I do 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, and so on. These are called the multiples of a number. If you are looking for two or more numbers and you listed all their multiples, then you will see things that are common between them. For example, if I continue to list the multiples of 10, I will write 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and so on. So if I continue the 64, there will be 72, 80, 88, and so on. If I look at these two lists of multiples, I see that 40 is a common for them. Common means exists in both at the same time. Also, I see that 80 is a common for them. If you continue, you will get 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, and so on. Every 40 you add, there is a common multiple for both 8 and 10 at the same time. Now, the least between these, which is the first number you have met a common between them, is called the LCM of 8 and 10. So simply I write LCM of 8 and 10 is 40. Now, again, to find in the classical way the least common multiple, we just list the multiples of all the numbers we have. Then we check the smallest number that is common between them. The first one that is common between them is called the LCM. We will learn later another way that will be much more effective and faster to find LCM. This way can be good for small numbers, but it will become much harder when the numbers are too big or the numbers are a lot. Like I have 3 or 4 numbers, listing too many multiples will be exhausting sometimes. Now we'll talk about the greatest common factor. Again, before we talk about the greatest common, we are talking about the word factor. Factor, if you remember previously, we have mentioned it in some definitions. If I have, for example, factors of the number 48, they are all the numbers you multiply that makes 48. The first and most obvious one is 1. 1 is a common factor of all numbers. That means any real number can be divided by 1. Now, 48, it's 1 times 48. And it's divisible by 2 because it ends with an even digit. It's 2 times 24. 4 plus 8 is 12, is a multiple of 3. It's divisible by 3. It's 3 times 16. It's divisible by 4 because it's 4 times 12. And finally, it is 6 times 8. So the numbers are here 6, and they are a little bit messy here. It's fine. I will erase these. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 times 8, 4 times 12, 3 times 16, 2 times 24, and 1 times 48. These are all the factors of the number 48. If I list the number 30 now, 30 is 1 times 30. It's 2 times 15. It's 3 times 10, and it is 5 times 6. Again, it's still easy to list these numbers, but when we get two large numbers, it will be somehow exhausting to list them. For this reason, we are learning another way later. Now, if I look at the 30 and the 48, I see that 1 is a common factor for both. 2 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor. 6 is a common factor, and that's it. So, the common factors are, we see that 1, 2, 3, 6. In between these, the greatest common factor of 30 and 48 is the number 6. This means 30 and 48 are both divisible by 6, and it's the largest to be divisible by. That's it for the greatest common factor. We will learn a way later on how to find the greatest common factor in a much easier way. And the next way, it will be helpful for both the multiples and the factors at the same time because we'll find them directly.